super cool thing they've added this year. Super nice there. Uh, Really, I think just some good additions to the game this year. But we are off here. Very familiar map on the competitive side here in Raid Hardpoint. So everybody should kind of know what to do. Spawns may be a little bit different than some previous games, but it does look like we're seeing a lot of Dravics and a lot of M15s on the map. It looks like this is kind of what so far we've seen as a competitive two-gun set, but we'll kind of see as the kind of next months prevail here as we get into the CDL mode. But so far so good. The Boston Burgers, kind of the OG team of the league, are here. We're ahead there for a second, but have lost control here. Tito, the top window is going to get eventually ripped, but players are nearby, and there's a great addition of the wall bounce into some Omni movement there from is it Moja or is it Moha? I don't. Moja. Awesome. I don't know the Boston Burgers, honestly. Got to be more familiar with the OG of the league. But so far, the 2DAP losing team is doing so well on the P1, starting to hit this rotation, trying to get this player out of tree.
Yeah, standing up on that tree is usually a typical power position to anchor the back of the spawns. You're not usually doing it with the submachine gun, though, so able to break in, the Houston Warthogs are. And now we're going to see the Burgers who get that spawn over towards the basketball court side of the map, starting to try to flood their way in through the back. Cover's looking to go through the window, might get some good timing here, going to shoot one in the back, able to get the trades back and forth. So they're going to come down to a 1v1 on time, but Wally is going to iron and say, wall bouncing, Omni movement, I don't care. I'm just going to hold my iron and gun you because aim is everything probably still. Houston, though, starting off very, very well here throughout our first two hills, up 40 currently. Now, the big thing with this hill is we've got 10 seconds left on the clock, and this hill is all the way towards that garage side. And so now we're going to see Burgers going over there, and I think they have the intel that there's a player on the wrap, and T-Dub is going to find him, going to have a second gunfight as well, going to win that as well. And now the Burgers are looking to get set up here towards the garage side for this P3.
Yeah, and I mean, you'll see, I mean, commentating over Raid is something that anybody who's been around in Call of Duty for a little bit of time knows what's going on here. A lot of people know how to play the map, what the money hills are, but this can be probably the biggest money hill. This one and, you know, P3, P4 back to back can be deadly. Just with the basketball court here in P4, you do have to make that rotation early, so it's typically if you can get some control, start to get over towards that pool side, start to get those spawns flipped. So it just kind of depends here. We do see a team here in Boston still having control of that old time, but you see everybody at 20, 23 seconds, so just full rotating out, not even trying to contest. So that's what you see there towards that garage side. This P4, you're going to see really kind of a similar fight here with players trying to go towards this backside. As DAP is looking to get a gunfight here as he sees the trophy goes, knows that there's a player there, gonna get wall bounced on, but is just gonna retreat. So this is kind of an interesting scenario on Raid where you have back-to-back money hills that a lot of times we see one team take P3, one team take P4. But if a team can make that transition to P3 or to P4 from P3, it can be really interesting. And so yeah, interesting thing about Raid, honestly, one of probably the best competitive Call of Duty maps we've ever had.
Definitely, a lot of people would agree with you in that statement. And I mean, the Garage Hill paid dividends. We saw the Burgers get the full 60 there, and we're able to even up our score. And Houston able to get a good chunk of time here on the P4 and take that lead kind of back. Not quite as large as they had it before, but we're going to be making our way towards the middle of the map now for one of the interesting hills here, where it's just dead center in the garden. And you know, there's usually some corners you're going to rat in. There's some rocks that you can head glitch on, and of course now with the wall bouncing, you can have a little bit of movement inside here as well. So you're not kind of as, you know, trapped in your position as you might have been in Black Ops 2 or in previous Call of Duty games. We see T-Dub challenge with a pistol, gonna get one, but not able to get the second one. So Houston into the hill once again. Looks like Zen is getting active now, pushing out towards the art side, trying to potentially flip these spawns. They're just looking for some trades and kills here, and Houston doing a great job here so far on this final hill before we start to make our way towards the second rotation.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing that we've really talked about, you know, throughout playing pubs so far has just been the overpowered assault rifles that we see. And so that's kind of one thing I wanted to be really interested in coming into this series is, do we still see an overpowered aspect of those ARs with some organized Call of Duty here, or is it just one of those things in pubs? And so far, I mean, the Dravics have been getting involved. They're not, the KEs aren't negative. They're getting here. They're taking gunfights that I think you would normally see. So, so far it's been, I think it's been fairly even. I haven't really seen a lot of instances where, you know, subs are losing gunfights to ARs super up close. It's always really been a sub on sub battle. So here in a second rotation, the Warthogs are doing a pretty good job here, doubling the score of the Boston Burgers so far. So really doing their homework so far on raid.
Yeah, they're doing great here throughout their first rotation and then starting the second hill as well over towards the ring. They've been starting really hot, and you make a good point with the ARs. You're missing potentially two ARs that aren't doing your typical AR things. They're doing more aggression pressure, but I mean, like you said, it's looked fairly balanced here so far. A good mix between the two. Decent slaying from both squads, good amount of time from both squads. We're seeing the Burgers over here on the rotation towards that kitchen side, looking to get set up. Contested is going to come in from the front side of the hill. Cover's looking for this enemy in the corner. He goes for the wall bounce, able to get some help, but the Warthogs have broken in now from the front. The Burgers still are going to have that back spawn, so they're going to be able to contest and fight this hill pretty close here. Just going for the contest from the corner, going to get slid chowed by Dapper, who's able to win that one, going to get taken down. And now we're going to see a fight towards the front. Cover's going to win that as well. And now contest coming back from the backside, potentially last gunfight here. Looks like one more chow coming through from the Warthogs, and then we're going to be making our rotation over towards P3 with the Burgers on the front side, maybe having the priority position to rotate over towards B3.
Yeah, I mean, they know what's going on. They know this rotation needs to come in, so I mean, they're gonna stop pushing out. Houston Warthogs are gonna be taking, about 200 points heading into this hill, but Boston Burgers, we saw last time had a 55, 56 point hill here, so looking pretty good for them. But they're gonna need that rotation towards P4. Unlike last time, they kind of gave that up to the Warthogs, but it's a tough one to get that rotation. This first break has been very successful from the Warthogs, able to break in right away, disrupt some of that rotation set up from the side of Boston Burgers, and now they're going to have to fight in this very difficult hill to break.
Yeah, this hill can be very difficult to break if you're not winning some key 1v1s, or if you're not choosing a side, if you're trying to funnel through the little gym spot, or you're trying to go through the AC side. It can be difficult to break in, but we're seeing lots of trades come here back and forth, which is going to be good for the Warthogs, and looks like Zinward is able to get a nice two-piece there to push away the remaining players from the Boston Burgers. And now he's getting active over towards the pool side, able to get one on a 5 spree. Looks like Clover's going to chow in for the hill, and he's going to get the first, but not able to turn and zap Iceberg for the second. But the Warthogs have found the spot to slip through. They're going to be here first onto P4, and they're going to be in a good spot here, and they're going to end up with the victory. So really solid game from the Houston Warthogs. They're able to just do your typical stuff in Call of Duty. Shoot good, rotate to hills, win gunfights, score more points, win game.
Yeah, this one's nothing special. I mean, we're gonna see. This is one of those. If this ends up making the map pool, which I'm imagining it will from the competitive standpoint.
But that one, and then the one that's behind the box, and it's just like a little in the little L corner. They're just interesting hills, not bad by any means, but just interesting. But we're here loading in to the search and destroy match. We've already got some plays coming down.
What a
Cover's gonna get one with the cred spot. Dapper's gonna get shots into a guy and get a trade as well. So the interesting cred spot, just being able to fly through, just sit there and just kind of wait it out. That's kind of the stuff that you kind of got to know about for search and destroy. So excited to continue to see some of that stuff come out here.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the preparation that we heard Jim speak on with the Boston Burgers. I really hate that this animation is kind of bugged right now in Codcaster, because it is a really cool plant diffuse animation. But we'll get over all the bugs and stuff. Hopefully it'll get worked out. But yes, ripped off of that heady. Sig being the last one here in a 1v3. these Warthog players are posted. This is going to be a difficult one. He's going to have to rip a couple players, win a couple close range gunfights here. With 15 seconds left, it's not looking very likely there. As they're able to get everything done here, and all the players are dead.
Interesting. Interesting.
Okay. Apparently it's a glitch. That's cool. So is that a first round only thing that the bomb explodes no matter what? And then it's fine. Okay. That's a very interesting one.
You know, the bugs every year, they just get more interesting and more interesting, and you got to think like I don't know how you test that or how they test the game or specific things inside of the game. It feels like they don't at all, but something like that is just like, okay, that's cool. At least we have like a countdown on like the hard point, unlike last year at some point in time. I think that was towards the end, but Iceberg's going to get 2 here off the rip. T-Dub looking to follow up. Is going to get shots into 1, but only going to get traded out. And Sig is
Whoa!
going to take
It's
a
a Jims.
trip off the map. Shout out, word to Jims.
We don't have. We're gonna yanked off the biscuits here. I can feel it.
Never.
Okay. Respect the final kill cam there. Man, this is. I really hope they fix some of this with this being a good game this year, but we'll see. I know that all of the Codcaster stuff is, I believe, outsourced, and so the developers don't actually do anything with it. So it's kind of tough for them to fix things or do things like that. But it is just kind of a bummer to see things like this. But so far, Houston Warthogs have been doing their thing on this map. They're kind of catching, I think, the Burgers a little bit off guard with some of their playstyles, and maybe that's just because you know, they're not doing it the standard way, but so far it's been so good with first bloods, getting trades when they need to, and just winning rounds.
Yeah, Mocha is able to clean up one of the Warthogs there, bring him down to a 3v2 here. Dapper is going to be planting this bomb. Looks like Iceberg is playing a creddy over towards their side huts. Maybe that's a call out. Who knows at this point in time? I'll just make it up and go with it. Gonna reposition a little bit. Might get some good timing here, but T-Dub is ready for it and rips him. So now we're gonna be here in a 2v2. Dapper is gonna get some intel. Looks like a kill is going to come down onto T-Dub on the far side. Moja playing towards the middle of the map, trying to get this player mid, is gonna get taken out by Wally, and that's a nice little coverage site, you know, going from the middle of the map, seeing all the way through towards that bomb site. I'm sure that's probably where he saw T-Dub trying to cross towards the little hut over in the corner. So great plays here from the Houston Warthogs so far. Like you said, first bloods kind of being an abundance factor in their favor, but ultimately just playing the trades, making sure that they can win 1v1s or have somebody to back them up there for the trade after they get that first blood, getting the bomb down, and then just kind of spreading out from there to kind of take over the map and ultimately force a retake to happen. So Boston, curious to see what they're going to do here. Maybe they'll switch up their play a little bit. Looks like they're hitting straight through mid pretty fast. There's going to be somebody in the window, and looks like Iceberg down low in the bottom side is going to get some shots in. While he's able to win the first gunfight up top, he's going to be looking to push back through their side. Iceberg still playing on the bottom side, potentially just waiting for somebody. Dapper
Oh
going
yeah,
for
baby.
the take.
Oh
We get the
yeah.
first one
Oh
of the
yeah.
year.
Oh
He's
baby.
working
Yeah.
him in
Woo!
mid. We love it. And then he dies.
Hey, man, it's all worth it. I mean, hey, we're not in season. We're here to showcase some of the things in Black Ops 7. Unfortunately, I kind of wish he would have done the grenade kick finisher there. But it's okay. We'll get over it. It does look like so far this map is leaning very heavy towards that B bomb site. Looks like it's gonna be an absolute nightmare to try to retake. But so far, Houston Warthogs doing their thing, up 4-0. Boston Burger's not really showing any signs of life so far, but we'll see if that can change over the next 2 rounds.
The A bomb, they can't really move it up. I was curious if they would put it in the little alleyway connecting between the two sites rather than towards the defender's site. That's also an interesting one that I think is going to force a lot of plays over towards that B side, is that you really have to make a lot of forward progress into the defending team's base in order to make it to that actual bomb site, in order to kind of plant and play over there. Looks like Moja is looking to get active, and he's going to get immediately greeted, but Cover is on the flank, able to pick up two, going to get some shots into Iceberg, but unable to get the kill. So they have a little bit of intel on where Iceberg is right now. He is going to need to recapture this bomb and then go get the plant. I don't know if he's going to have time enough to do that, as both these Burger players are sending it directly at him, and he's going to get taken out there. So Burgers get their first round there on the board. It's always got to start with one. And just a big flank by Cover. I don't know if he made it through the middle of the map or on the right side, but he was able to
He went right
probably
side.
the middle right side. He was able to get
Yeah, he was the only one
aggressive there and catch the player that was on the heady, and with the other player, I think it was Dapper, rotating back off to the nade. So good place from the side of Burgers there in order to get their first round on the board.
Yeah, he was the only one that went to that A side. Warthog sent 3 up the mid, and then 2 towards the, or 2 up the mid, 2 towards the right, and just kind of got caught there. But good play from Cover there, and then Iceberg's gonna. We saw this the second round where the Burgers did something, and then the Warthogs just said, "Well, let's just send 2 people and do the same thing," and that's exactly what they do here again. We're having a fight a little bit here towards the Warthog side. Wally able to pick up 1, but not able to pick up that second, but it's okay. His teammate did get the first initial kill off rip, and oh my god.
Damn. Damn.
So if you guys were questioning if the ARs are a little too good, that was a sub against AR on a heady, and that was just, whoa, that was crazy.
He had the slide into the head glitch, so he had a little bit, but just absolutely zapped there. Moja in the 1v3, though, does have the bomb, potentially going to make the play and plant over towards the A side. So our first bomb plant on the A side, the first bomb plant for the Boston Burgers. He's going to have some work cut out for him here in the 1v3, looking for potentially somebody to give up a 1v1. And I don't know how much they can hear versus if it's Codcaster that we're kind of hearing the footsteps and stuff, the slides around. Kind of just navigating around, playing the clock out. Looks like we're going to have potentially one player hop on the bomb. He's going to get the first kill, but going to get immediately traded by Zin. So good retake there from the Warthogs, kind of playing together as a pack, able to get the trade onto Moja and secure the round. So first A plant doesn't really do very much for us other than lots of running around, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many on that A side. There's so much navigation through the middle of the map with that top in the middle, and then in here you kind of have your 2 paths towards the back of spawn, and that kind of cut towards that bottom middle. So I mean, it's very interesting from a retake perspective. There's a lot of stuff you have to clear, and so as a defender of your bomb, you kind of just got to get lucky with some timings there. So I mean, you saw that he's just sitting bottom, players are jumping up top. I mean, if those players come bottom, he maybe gets a 2-piece there and has a free 1v1, but just down to that search and destroy, just some unfortunate timing here. We do see an aggressive B push here from the side of Houston. Moja is here to do a little bit of defending here. He's going to see one player.
Breakdancing?
Well then.
Breakdancing?
No!
Oh no.
No! That's the first Wolfie of the season right there, baby. Oh my.
Iceberg's sick dance moves just cast fear into the side of the Burgers, and they forgot that they have to shoot at least a couple of bullets into somebody before they die. Obviously, we can't see how much health he was directly at unless we were on his actual player card, but unfortunate stuff from the side of Burgers there. Iceberg's breakdancing moves, though, I don't know what he does for a profession, but he very well could be a backup dancer to Ice Spice or something with the moves that we just saw there.
I'm pretty sure he is a massive nerd. Jims can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he does one of the nerd professions. if you know what I'm saying.
Engineer.
I I I won't say, but I do believe big nerd. Big nerd.
Big nerd.
Lots of nerds over here in the CRL, especially in the mod, the casting side. There's a common theme.
What I'm the most excited for in this whole series is to kind of see this and see how it kind of plays out. So we're going to get started with Sigburn here from the Boston Burgers, looking to make their way towards the middle of the map where this device, overload device, I don't know what the actual name of it is going to be placed.
I yeah, I was gonna say the game referred to it as the device when you have like the announcer and stuff. So we'll see. I mean, the feels weird to call it something the name of the game mode device, but you know, if that's what it is, then that's what it is. So I mean, for the people who don't know that this game mode, the objective is to take said device from somewhere in the middle of the map. The spawn is different after each activation of the device, and you need to take it to, at the moment, one of two zones of the enemy. You just simply pick up the device by running over it, and then you just run into the zone. It creates an EMP shockwave, eliminates some HUD from the players in a pretty significant radius around it, and that gets you a point. Game showing EMP, so we'll maybe go with that. When the EMP does drop, so when you die, it does have a reset timer. I think that's 10 seconds now. I think they changed it, and then that it may be more. I don't really know. They've kind of made some rule changes here and there, so it will eventually reset back to middle. So you're gonna kind of see here Boston Burgers just looking to clear some time. I don't think they're going to pick it up, so they're going to let the device kind of reset towards that middle. As you see, it kind of just right there, spawns right back to middle, and then there it is. So I believe here, I don't think it may be active, it may not be. It's kind of tough to tell from our CODcaster perspective, but in pubs it wasn't. I believe it's active directly now. So that's kind of how the game mode works. When you do have the device or the EMP, you are pinged occasionally. They're saying in CDL mode that probably won't be the case. There's also been talks about going to one zone instead of two. So from the people I've heard who've played this competitively have talked about they don't like the fact that there's two zones. So we'll kind of see if that ever changes.
Yeah, I think the big thing with this that is very interesting to me is, and you know, when we or if we do see a capture come into play, that reset to a different spot is beneficial. I don't know if that's like set same spawn every time. Okay, center spawn every time for CDL. I was gonna say it could be interesting to see that randomized spawn or flips to where it makes one team have a better position than the other team. It could play into, you know, the whole situation as a factor, and we're looking here. The Warthogs have a very good run, clear sight towards this. We're gonna see the dunk come through. First point is gonna be scored to the Houston Warthogs.
Yeah, so we see a interesting. It does not spawn center. Not that I don't believe gyms, but okay, they didn't change the rule, so it's a rule that they need to change. All good. I mean, that's part of why we do these. Part of some interesting. I would honestly like to see it change, but I mean, honestly, it's going to be up to kind of the pros and as they play it, what they get. So we have a bunch of time until matches really do start and they start to iron out all of the CDL rules. I mean, we don't even have a CDL rule set in game. I know that they said that they were working on it and they haven't played them. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But so far, this has been honestly what I've expected of the game. Very close, kind of back and forth. One team can take it all the way up until, you know, like that 10, 15 yard line of the zones, and then they just get stopped. I think the side that the Houston Warthogs on are actually a little bit easier. You can control that solar panel side. You can start to cut off some people there, and you can have a free run over towards that B zone. From the other side, I think honestly probably one of the more difficult. So if you can limit your captures or the overloads, I guess, on the defensive side towards where Boston are, I think you're doing pretty good. But time will tell on that one.
Yeah, we're seeing Wally here kind of hanging out over towards the bomb. He's going to continue to lay down, going to get taken out in the back. Boston's going to be making their way up towards their site to dunk it. 2 kills come down, 1 player left close, going to get taken out, and that's going to ultimately allow the Houston Warthogs to secure the EMP device, but there's still Burger players around. They're going to get taken out, and with 8 seconds left here on the clock, I believe that the first round is going to go to the side of the Warthogs. So able to get that first tick and that 1 clear tick. They were able to, I don't know if it was a 3, I think it was a 3 dead scenario. The other player was towards the middle, just not really able to cut off, essentially the middle of the map, especially on that solar panel side. There, really only have your own base to cut from, and you only have the middle of the map to cut from. So able to secure that 1 pop, and then they're going to take the advantage here moving into halftime.
Yeah, that was an interesting.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. We saw kind of a lot of back and forth there. I think I I've kind of heard from people you can kind of start to ace some rounds together where you're just constantly dunking those people, putting people in a spawn trap. But with a little bit of the spawn delay, I think it's gonna play a little interesting. I am really excited for this as a different mode than Control. Control has been not very exciting to watch. So I mean, I think this will be exciting for at least a little bit just because it's new. We'll see if it has the longevity that I think a lot of us hope that a third game mode has. But it really brings back a lot of a little bit more mental strategy side of a third game mode that we really didn't see in Control outside of you just decide, do you stack the point now or not? And it feels like most teams didn't really know how to do that either. So hopefully this provides a little bit of difference. You're gonna have to have a little bit more communication on what side of the map you're wanting to take, where people are at. Player counting and keeping your lives are going to be something very interesting to have here. But you can kind of see right here, just they're able to pick up the device, and they just pretty much have that entire solar panel side completely free. Dap having a very interesting gunfight there as well. He's got to fight 3 different Boston players here, but they're continuing to keep the solar panel side just absolutely clear and ready for another run. But the side of Warthogs are looking to fight back here as another run was in the middle of taking place as Warthogs are able to clear up most of these players and able to take the device in their control and hopefully get it away from the SPI side.
Yeah, I think at this point in time, they're probably just going to let it reset here. The Burgers still have a couple players pushed out for positioning. Cover's able to get 2, but is going to get traded out. It's going to leave Dapper left over here on the solar panel side. He's looking for this player in the back, but going to get taken out by T-Dub. Moja now has the EMP, and he's pushing through towards the side, but he gets so close and then gets taken out by the swarm of Warthogs. Cobra is the last player left close. He's in the back, gonna get the kill on the first player, gonna get shots into the next, but not able to finish the kill, but they're gonna be able to pick up Zinward. Moja looking to take the EMP towards mid. Cobra still causing havoc in the spawn of the Warthogs as well. So oh, sick! You're ripping your teammate there.
Teammate, bro.
He just blasted his teammate. I just.
Oh my gosh, dude. I can already tell this is going to be super chaotic. I mean, you can tell, granted, we have a mini map. We know where the players are. The players in the game really don't know where everybody else is. And you can already just tell by looking at the mini map and knowing, granted, the game's not been out, so people don't know yet, but how important it's going to be to player count and to know who's up and who's not. I mean, if you kill 2 players, you got to know this. Oh, those other 2 players just are not going to be around. They're going to be way off spawn, and so you have the ability to take a lot of map control. We kind of saw that there when we had a little bit of a reset of the device. One player, I forgot who it was on the side of the Warthogs, but they were just sitting on solar panels, just waiting for players, and they probably could have went and dumped. But they don't know where the players are, and that's going to come with a lot of just time in the game mode and some experience. And so it'll be an interesting one to watch everybody learn here. Dap starting to heat up here back towards even. Jesus, man. has both of the caps here, looking on a 3 streak, looking to get involved. And this is looking like another cap attempt here. They do have one player here. They're going to just leave Iceberg to take the gunfight, and Dap is going to go get that third dunk for their side. Warthogs up 3-1 so far. Burgers have a minute to get 2 dunks in order to get this over.
Yeah, the 2 dunks is not out of the question, but it is going to be difficult. Sig able to get a nice kill towards the middle of the map. They're going to have info on this player top window as well now. So Wally looking to play his life here. Going to get taken out by Sig. There is a player underneath of him, but he is able to get out for the meantime, but is going to get taken out by Iceberg, who is looking to grab the EMP now. There is still one Burger player left close. Now he's going to make the route, and he's going to choose the right side, and he doesn't know that this is free, but he is going to go for it, be able to put the dunk through. And with 20 seconds left ticking down on the clock here, the Burgers are going to be looking to make their way out of their spawn, out towards the tank over here on the right side of the map currently, based on how we're looking at it. But with 8 seconds left here on the clock, looks like Houston is going to be able to take map number 3 with our first overload that I've seen. Pretty fun.
Yeah, honestly, we haven't seen it on a bunch of maps, but this is a map that I think it plays well. We may honestly only see this map for this game mode. I honestly don't mind HP on this map. I don't know that we'll see a search, but this one could be an interesting one. I imagine this is probably what the pros played a lot towards the side of when they were at Treyarch. So we'll kind of see. I like it.
Exciting third game mode, because like you said, Control hasn't been the most exciting, better than some of the stuff that we've had in the past, but I think it's going to be a nice change here. But we are loaded into this Scar Hardpoint here. Houston looking to potentially close out the series here on this map number 4. Boston looking for their opportunity to keep themselves alive, and Dapper is already ripping people in the middle of the map with the M15.
And I do see that in addition to bugs that we're catching up, some kills aren't counting. Maybe because Dap got a 2-piece there and then killed it. Say that again, Mr. James. Well, I mean, the kill feed showed that he got 2.
UMs. Maybe.
Yeah, well, it showed that he got 2 in the middle and then went up top and killed someone, and he only had 2 after that. And maybe it was just I read the kill feed wrong, but it's going so far. It's good. I mean, he's gonna test the theory here of kills and if they work or not, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, so far at least we got 1 through 8, so I mean, no surprise numbers in here.
44,
but 60, 69.
69.
Unfortunately, none of those. But yeah, so far so good. I mean, the Houston Warthogs, a pretty successful P1. We're heading over towards what I think many people are calling Saloon for P2. This one's going to be, I think, a really interesting one based on where spawns happen. But this is a huge zone, so it's going to be really interesting on how players are getting to that zone and making it.
Lots of corners, lots of boxes as well to protect or attack the site from. So this hill in particular is going to be an interesting one to play out. But Houston having a nice chunk of time here, looking to send one more contest before they make their way over towards the opposite side of the map for the P3, and Cover able to get a nice 2-piece there. Looks like all 4 dead from the side of the Warthog, so that is going to secure a potential rotation, but the Warthogs get a nice spawn close on the right side of the map. Gunfight's coming down early over towards this P3, and looks like Houston is going to come out on top for the time being. T-Dub looking to get aggressive up close, able to get one, going to get taken out by another, hanging out on top of the plane. That's going to allow Wally to get into the hill. Wally wants another gunfight down low in order to keep this time going for the Houston Warthogs here. So Houston continuing to roll here on the respawn game modes.
Yeah, and I mean, P4 is going to be where we see the Warthog spawning now. It's going to be in that building, so I think you want that right side eventually. Obviously, we don't know. We haven't seen this played a bunch on what side's better to hold. I think having that top side is going to be a little bit easier with that window access. You have a couple of headies. Granted, the bottom side has the entire plane as a head glitch. That's obviously a two-way for both teams, but one team's going to be able to get there a little bit faster and a little bit easier. So over here towards a P4, really close quarters hill. We really haven't seen that the last, the first 3 hills were pretty open. A lot of ARs are going to be involved here. I think this is going to be definitely a sub map or a sub hill, unless you're Dapper, and then you can just do whatever you want with the map.
This guy, he's pretty good at Call of Duty, I would say. He's pretty good, and he's showing it here so far on the Scar map number 4. But Burgers are able to get in. Cover gets some really terrible timing going for the reload there. I don't know how many bullets he was at in his clip, but it always gets the best of us sometimes where we want that reload. But T-Dub on the side of the Burgers having a wonderful map as well at 16 and 10 currently. 3 seconds in the hill time, so he's out there holding cuts, holding down the lanes, helping his squad out, potentially on the rotations, whatever it may be, but he's also gunning the Houston Warthogs down, and the Burgers are going to set up here over towards this P5, towards the elbow. Sigburn able to get a nice 2-piece mid with nice headshot there.
That's a snake if I've ever seen one. But we'll let it slide, a little showcase, it's fine. We give him a little warning.
Hey, I never heard that snaking was banned for the showcase match. Did you?
It's their money, not mine. I don't care. I don't care what they do.
Valid
but I mean,
take.
Boston Burgers, they had a pretty good P4 there, a couple good breaks. Looking to have a pretty successful P5 here as they finally do take the lead. Houston Warthogs had a really good P1, so we'll see if they can kind of replicate that into this second rotation mojo with some great timing. Again, there, Boston just some unfortunate reload and grenade timing there. Man,
whoa!
I was gonna say Cover's POV is insane to watch. Every time I feel like we're on him, he's just doing nuts things, especially with the Omni movement. It's a little unfortunate there that I was gonna say. But here we are as we get up. Oh, I swear, if he was gonna get that, dude, that's crazy.
It is absolutely snapped. And I mean, of course, he's got a sub, but he's shooting 80 meters across the map. But the fact that he hit 1 bullet there immediately, it was pretty nuts, not gonna lie. I enjoyed his adventure where he jumped off the box and just slid all the way down the map, and we see Omni movement come into play there, but Dapper just says, I don't need it. I'll just 3-piece. It's fine. It's fine.
This dude is 27 and 15, 28 and 15 right now. I think it's a 29 with an asterisk, but we'll review that. Oh man.
What can we GA Dapper? Is that allowed?
I mean, we could. I mean, maybe he got a little offended because I said they were going to be the losing team. Maybe he's just coming out with a little bit more of a vengeance. I mean, most kills, terrible stuns, and most kill times. So I mean, I think he's doing pretty good so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing real good so far. I mean, the casters, they say what they want to say, and as a player, you gotta prove them wrong, or you gotta prove them right, and he's proving you wrong right now. That's for sure. Yeah, I never said anything bad about Dapper in my life. Love the guy. So I don't know what all the slander was for from your side.
There's no slander towards Dapper specifically. He's just the only one that he's the leader. I'll consider the leader of the team. And so unfortunately his name's gonna get thrown there. I could say Ice, but him and I have the same poster, so I mean we're pretty locked.
The Black Ops 2 poster?
The Black Ops 2 display.
Shout out to CK for the Christmas present idea.
100%. My mom got it for me last Christmas. Little inside thing that is a trophy. Right.
It is a trophy system. He's
so
still
far,
getting headshots,
I mean,
though.
If Dapper's not going, practically double pause here, this is definitely a Boston Burgers game. He is keeping Houston in this one for sure. That's a lot of windows, and shoot, this is His POV is nuts. This
Did
game, we're
Cobra
gonna see
swap
some
out with Shotzi?
we're gonna see some crazy things this year from some high level players who know how to use power stick. Oh, that's okay. There, we let those go.
I
One,
think
two, oh,
50,
zero.
40.
I don't know, man. Dapper's slowing down a little bit here. He's died twice in a row. Finally gets another kill. He's gonna die again. Um, hopefully he can pick this up for his team. They're gonna start needing him here. He hasn't been performing too well the first half of the game.
I mean, Boston. You know, I don't know what their time was looking like going into the last couple of hills, but I think there was like a 40 or 50 point gap at least, and we're back to the point in times where it's single digits currently as the scrap time is getting taken out. So Boston, you know, slowly and surely and hectically, with Cobra's POV coming into play, making their way back into this map number 4. And you know, it's all fun, it's all jest here in the CRL, of course, especially as a fun showcase match here for everybody coming in to join our stream tonight. You know, it's been a fun time. Excited to kind of see how this game continues to go through, but the burgers are rolling now. They finally warmed up here in this map number 4, and they're looking to potentially make some damage here on the P5. I think
Yeah,
it's
I'm gonna
P5.
need Boston to win this game so we can at least see a search on this map. And it's going to come down pretty close here. Dapper's going to be kind of the last defense here. We're going to have a little bit of a flank coming in. Dapper's going to snap on that player. Unfortunately, he is already dead. Ice coming in here with the cleanup with looking like they want to secure the rest of this time. And this is going to be big time here as we head towards a P1 where Houston was pretty successful the first time. I have no idea what happened the second time because I was too busy talking bad on Dapper as he was frying people. So probably pretty good for the side of Houston, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably pretty good, but Cover says he doesn't care about what the last rotations look like. He's just here to slide chow people all over the place. But the Warthogs here in the time on the P1. Wally able to get a couple seconds there before he gets taken out. Mocha is on the flank, able to get the player off of time here, looking to potentially keep progressing through this map, looking for these Warthog players, but it looks like his teammates are just killing everybody around him instead. So still in a good position here. Nobody knows he's there, able to get one, gonna try to get out with his life, but gonna get taken out from the top by Zinward there, probably from the window, if I'm not mistaken. Wally pushed up on the other side of the map now. Gonna get some shots into the player on the P1. Shots into the top window, but gonna get taken out from behind. Dapper looking to potentially follow up with a trade there, but is gonna get zapped and shot by a million bullets, is what it felt like there. But Cover doing the good things for the squad over here, rotated towards the P2. Gonna get some shots in, but gonna get swarmed by the Warthogs. So a little bit of a lead here for the Burgers. Feeling good based on how the first part of the map went, but they've started to turn up here towards these last couple of rotations, looking to break into this P2 here and continue to grow their advantage.
Yeah, Wally's kind of last person here from the side of the Warthogs. He does have some assistance coming from the rest of his team here as they are able to clean that up. This is going to come down to pretty close. Both teams can still win here. It's going to come really close here, I think. If the side of Houston are able to hold this, which so far, so good on the first couple of gunfights, as Dapper's able to pick up 2. Unfortunately, he's going to fall to T-Dub there behind him. Moja able to pick up 1 on his own. That's a huge gunfight there between Iceberg. He is going to lose it. It's going to have some team assistance here towards the end of the second, but this is going to force another hill as we see the side of Boston Burgers are looking to get this mid-map presence. They do know this rotation is important. They're going to take the rest of this scrap time as well, so they're going to need about 4 or 5 seconds. Make that 3 seconds here heading into new. Nobody is on new yet. They do pick up the player. Sig able to pick up 2 on this rotation. Wally able to pick up a 2-piece of his own here, and they are on time. They need that last tick, last coming through, and the side of Boston going to come through with a great middle map there, honestly, from their teams. Pretty good to play. Honestly, that outside of a couple weird split spawns I think I saw in the middle of the map, I think they played fine. I think your ARs are going to dominate here on this one if they don't make any changes, but I think you're going to expect that. I don't know that do we really have any smaller maps that are in the pool that
It's a very big map. A couple different lanes to attack. Looks like we're on the defensive side with the Houston Warthogs first. They're going to have the priority to get to the A and the B bomb sites. Oh,
Oh,
go over. Go over.
oh,
You're supposed to do that at the enemy team, not at your face, bro. But this is going to be an interesting search and destroy map, I think. There's not really too much aggression that I think can be had, but the burgers are able to push up through the saloon side, get some presence over here towards that A bomb, and potentially looking to make a play over here. T-Dub able to get one as well. That's going to put us in a 3v2 scenario here. Bomb still kind of over here. Look like it's progressing its way over towards the A plant, but Wally is going to get some sight, so he's going to be able to look and make a play.
yeah. I mean, so far, Boston Burgers, after the initial mishap there from the side of Cover, have been doing pretty good, leaving Dap here in a 1v2. He does know where one player was at before. He's going to get some shots in, but he's going to reach out with that crazy Omni movement there. Maybe a little bit too ambitious for Moja there to do that, but I mean, hey, if you're feeling it, send it. Sig and Dapper here. ARs on both sides left in a 1v1. There's going to be a good amount of map separation here as this bomb goes down. Sig's going to have plenty of time to reposition, but it looks like we're going to be having a gunfight or some interesting timing here happen pretty soon on this backside.
Yeah. And it looks like Dapper is going to make his way up towards the top. His sights are going to come down, but is able to win the 1v1, potentially going for the bomb defuse. Now, I think his hands are doing some weird stuff. I now see what you were talking about, where the animations glitched. But first round is going to go to the side of the Houston Warthogs there. And that was an interesting one. You know, we got a self nade off the rip there. Dome frag grenade straight to the dome. We've got Insane Chow, I tip it, of course, and then clutch 1v1 there from the Dat Man himself, who has a pretty sick bracelet on, if I do say so myself.
Absolutely. I'm looking to see. Just sorry, I was just Snoop clipped this so nade. That's so good. He hit like the corner where you typically set up like a 4x4 post and just hits the inside corner of that post and right back at his forehead. So good. Maybe a little too accurate there. It's looking like this A site's going to be the site that people go towards. Looks like you can get pretty far from the defender side. You have a couple headies to be set up on. But so far, Houston Warthogs, just kind of like the first S&D that we saw, are kind of running away with this. The first round was a little bit closer, kind of the closest one we've seen. But this one, definitely not as much.
Yeah, the interesting one with that A side is, you've got the catwalks for Saloon that you can kind of protect and attack from or defend from, but that window you would typically think is a pretty big power position. It's difficult to see down into Saloon because of the bus that's there. So you can kind of only see the closest box heady and then farther back. But if players are kind of pushing through pretty rapidly, you're kind of unhelpful in that position. It's not quite as powerful over towards that A site as it is towards the specific middle of the map. So I think that from an attacking standpoint, it could be a very good position and spot to go to when you compare to something like this B side where you get to the plane and you're just getting shot by ARs from the heady up top, or you got somebody doing jump shots on the box down low. But Burger's doing a good job of playing the trades here so far. Wally is going to be left up in a 1v3 now. Looks like the bomb is making its way over towards the A site as well, pushing through the little general store building. Gonna go for the plant now, and Wally is gonna look for some information. Gonna get sighted from the middle of the map by Sigburn, but Moja is able to plant the bomb, and now Wally is going to have a masterful retake here as he's making his way through the outer depths of the map all the way around the back, and we're gonna see what happens.
Looks like that wrap is going to work out for him. He's able to pick up one. I don't think he spots that other player. I think he was next to him. I couldn't really tell from the x-ray if he was on the other side of the wall or not. But sees another player get some good shots, and that player's going to be absolute here. T-Dub is going to fall eventually. And Boston able to walk away with a round of their own there. That was really interesting because, they pushed towards that plane side, the side of Houston, immediately. just push through their spawn and have them locked in, and just unfortunately lost, I think, every single gunfight there. No longer keeping them trapped in, just allowed them to rotate back out. So tough there from the side of Houston, just with those gunfights. But Boston able to win them and come out with a round. So far, it's been an interesting one.
Yeah, this map, I don't know that it's played bad, but it is very different, and I think methodical and playing power positions is key. And then, as always, winning your gunfights is big, of course, as well. Iceberg looking to get active here. Player is going to be close, but is going to get taken out. One more player towards general store. Shots coming in from both sides. Moja is able to win that. That's going to force Zin to back up while he is at 69 HP. Nice. He is going to spot
Nice.
a player, going to be able to trade out Moja on a 2 spree now. T-Dub top window is going to get taken out by Dapper over towards that A side. Zin was able to recover the bomb, going for the plant. Dapper playing up top. Going to get some shots into Sig, but Sig is going to back out, choose to play his life. And now, Wally had a 1v3 last time. Now it's Sig with the AR in the 1v3. A bomb plan either way. Let's see how Houston choose to play this. And looks like they're setting up and they're sending Wally on towards the middle of the map to watch the cross. He's going to get some sights in. Sig's going to get some shots down. Going to zap Dapper
Oh my
with that headshot there. This gun's insane, by the way. He's got the bomb close to free right now, not able to go for the defuse, of course, with both these players playing up towards the top side. He is going to choose to rotate out, and he's not going to play for the defuse right now. He is going to get one player in the back, looking for this
Yeah,
last one, going to get
aw.
shots in and then die. So I think he was choosing to play for the streak there, potentially trying to get the RC car and Hellstorm, I believe we're allowing
Well,
it.
he had a harp on, so he's trying to. I think he was trying to get up to
Oh,
that
he,
harp.
he was trying to get the
Probably pretty
harp.
helpful in S&D. Yeah. I don't think
Yeah,
streaks are competitively allowed. I think everything is banned.
everything's banned.
Yeah.
Huh. Hmm.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, obviously we had the RC car last year and RC and Hellstorm. I would imagine we see that return, but we'll kind of see what happens. Be a weird year with no streaks. But
I think we should
yeah, I
just
mean,
allow whatever streak, and I want to drop a Goliath in a match and just run around as a Terminator robot. So
I think
that's my
the
shout out to the
drone
mods.
pods the
No,
drone pods have
no,
been pretty
no.
interesting as a
I take
field
it back.
upgrade.
I take it back. No streaks or Hellstorm and RC. I take it back. I take it all back. I take it all back. I take it all back.
We're dropping. 2 players get trophies and 2 players get drone pods. That's what you get this year.
No,
Houston making
denied.
honestly quick work of that round here. Boston down 4-1. Gonna have to make a little bit of a miracle run here to keep this series going. Houston honestly looking good so far on all of these maps. Some good practice has been coming in. I could feel it from their side. Also, by the way, the M15, according to stuff that I've seen on the onlines, is that the M15 has the slowest time to kill out of all the ARs. But it is consistent across all distances. So some of them may drop off a little bit towards the end, but the M15 doesn't. So I think it's going to be a good option. Honestly, of all the ARs, I think it's going to be our most competitive option. Unfortunately, I think it's a little unfair because it shoots so fast, but that is what it is. T-Dub left here in a 1v4. This is going to be an interesting one to see. He does spot this first player. Eventually spots a second there in depth. Able to put shots in, but not able to do it. Oh my god. This could be doable here with 20 seconds if Houston decides to choke this up here. And it looks like they're just going to be playing live Dap, going to take a reposition. And that's going to be the round towards Houston. But T-Dub able to show off some of that aim there and just shredding that player on that heady. And almost getting that kill toward the top. Probably church or whatever we're going to call that. But I'd imagine that's probably what it gets called. Burn? I don't know.
You were talking about the time to kill for the ARs, and I saw Twitter post with a graph, and the M15 is straight level pretty much across the board.
Yeah,
pretty much same time to kill, no matter what range it is. Tapers down just a little bit towards I think it was the 60-meter range. I think it takes 6 bullets You have like the Peacekeeper, which has a much higher TTK up close and then drops off long range. And then, of course, the other ARs, the Mirage and the, I always say the Guardian, but it's not actually the Guardian. And it's still stuck in my head. The
MXR,
Maverick. Yeah, the Maverick and
Maverick,
the
and
all those are slower firing guns or burst guns that have a much slower TTK up close, higher towards the other end. So it is interesting to kind of see how that plays out from the AR perspective. But the only thing I've seen pros using is the M15. So I think that's going to be where that kind of settles in this game specifically.
yeah. And as we're talking about guns, the Houston Warthogs are taking care of business here, able to pick up this map.